So I think most people probably know who Miles Guo, Guo Wengui, Miles Kwok. He's got a bunch of names that he calls himself. Who he is, right? And I'll give you a little bit of a background. He is actually a corrupt billionaire from China, real estate tycoon. Okay, and let me just make sure I get these charges right. So in 2014, he fled to America because he found out that he was accused of corruption by the Chinese authorities, and he learned that he was going to be arrested under the allegations of bribery, kidnapping, money laundering, fraud, and rape. Okay, that's quite a lot of charges.
But again, coming from the CCP,
Yeah.
how much of that do you believe, right?
Exactly.
So that was the idea.
Now, the thing is, he was, and well, I don't know, it is, but he was a CCP member.
Yep.
That's the thing. He was a public servant, and then he became this real estate tycoon, billionaire in China. And so he was like the 73rd most rich person in China or something. So, you know, we're talking a lot of money here. And come on, we all know that if you're going to be earning a lot of money and you're a government official and so on in China, there's definitely bribery and all that crap's involved. That's just how it works, okay? So we can say that there were legitimate charges against him.
Yeah.
But you could legitimately charge anyone in the CCP with those things. So, you know, again, it's dual purpose. It's this whole thing where, you know. Anyway, so the guy flees to the USA and he applies for asylum, okay? And, of course, this is what's going to happen. When you've got a con man, and he is a con man, when you've got a con man like that, he needs to save his own skin, and the best way for him to save his own skin is to come to America, claim asylum, and then at the same time be like, listen, I need protection here. So I'm going to give you secrets about the CCP. I'm going to show you the corruption of the CCP. I'm going to reveal things about the CCP, which he did.
Yeah.
And he revealed a bunch of internal information about the Communist Party of China. And then he kind of got a name for himself for being this sort of anti-CCP zealot, really, because obviously that's what he has to do to solidify his place, you know, solidify his asylum and to get all of his support.
Yep.
So there's a lot of truth in what he said, and there's also a lot of fabrication of falsehoods too.
Yeah.
But that's not the reason we're talking about this. Is he's just recently been arrested for $1 billion fraud. Okay, where he's defrauded people here in America and well around the globe, really.
I guess some of the stuff he was being accused of in China was...
Well, I mean, look, if you're a con man and you make your money through tricking people and bribery and all this bullshit, that's what you know, right?
Grifter's gonna grift.
Grifter's gonna grift. So he came to know his one and true love when he moved to America, though. So yeah, we all know that he got together with.
We shall fraud together.
Yeah, we shall fraud together. He got together with his one true love, Steve Bannon, and they put together a little media company. Okay, and he actually hired Steve Bannon as a consultant and paid him, you know, I think $1 million for a year and a bunch of other stuff. And whoever knows,
They
lots
had
of
that
money.
what is that? The sovereign state of China or some shit.
They put together these different media companies, and the thing is, they took advantage of the need of many people to fight against the CCP. Okay, people like ourselves who are against the CCP, we didn't fall for it. Okay, we were actually invited more than once to appear on Steve Bannon's show.
Yeah.
Okay, and to be involved in this kind of junk.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, we've never expressed our opinion about this whole Miles Guo thing from the beginning because to bring attention to this, what we thought it was grift from the beginning,
from the beginning,
is actually detrimental because if you push people towards that direction, people are like, you know what, they have a point. You know what I mean? We've had bad vibes about this from day one.
Yeah.
From day one, internally, me and you.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're going to call your show War Room...
Oh, we're not just what I meant about Miles Guo as well.
Yeah, Miles Guo and all that. You just
out, bro.
just rather not, you know, may as well go on InfoWars at that point, you know what I mean?
War Room, InfoWars.
Yeah, exactly.
War.
Yeah, exactly.
War Voice.
Yeah, it could be anything like that. So, I mean...
New Federal State of China, that's what it's called.
Yeah, that's right. So, unfortunately, he garnered a lot of support from people who are against the CCP, and he took advantage of them, especially Chinese diaspora.
It's actually a perfect victim story. Think about it.
Yeah.
You're in the CCP.
Yeah.
They victimize you, and they make you like an example of, we're going to go after you and take all this ill-gotten gain / maybe even hit you with charges you don't deserve, right?
Yeah.
Then you get this asylum story. Yeah, look at me. And I hate the CCP. I'm reformed. I changed. I'm going to make this new China, and it's going to be better. It's going to be free, right? Yeah. But then it got wicked sus.
Yeah, I mean,
what was he doing?
Well, they started all sorts of conspiracies about how COVID where COVID came from. They also brought that the scientist, from
that's
Hong
another
Kong.
thing. I was more talking about Teng Biao.
Oh yeah, Teng Biao. So anyway, Teng Biao is the dissident, and this is where things kind of went a bit awry. There are some dissidents living in America, like legitimate human rights lawyers.
Let me clear this up real quick. Remember, his whole thing was pro-China human rights, anti-CCP. That was his masquerade, right?
Yeah, which is it's a very valiant thing,
sure,
right? And something I could get behind,
right? But we saw some missteps along the way.
Unfortunately, like actual dissidents that were living in the States and in Canada and various other countries, he started to target them.
Yeah,
because they were
anti-CCP dissidents.
Yeah, they were speaking out against him.
Yeah.
And so what he would do is he'd target them and get his followers, of which he had many, 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 to go and picket outside their houses and intimidate them and do things like that, which really goes against his message.
Yeah.
Because if you're talking about like a human rights lawyer like Teng Biao, who had been arrested in China and who was very much against the CCP and, was an actual human rights guy, if he's targeting people like that, and he didn't deny that he sent the people out to do it, and he got people to picket outside his house for like weeks and, scream and shout at him and intimidate him and things like that. He
went after the anti-CCP dissidents.
Yeah, it's mixed signals, right?
It's like, weird.
What are you doing, bro? So anyway, look, the be-all and the end-all of this whole thing is that he set up a company and he offered shares in the company, but the company wasn't listed. So what he would do is he got people to invest in this company that wasn't it's vaporware.
Right.
Speaking of vaporware, he also set up like the Himalayan exchange cryptocurrency thing. He set up his own coin, which was also just a bunch of bullshit. Coin. Yeah, it just had nothing. Like, again, it's just like, hey, I've got a coin, invest in it, without like actually having anything of any value to give to people. And he also opened up some kind of like G Club, it was called, which is like an exclusive club that you could join for a very high rate. And then he would introduce you to, people of influence and so on. But it turns out he didn't really do any of that stuff. He just took membership money. So this is the crux of it all, is that the guy has done a lot of fraudulent things.
$1 billion
to steal a lot of people's money and living at large. Yeah. Bought a massive mansion, 50,000 square meter mansion in New York.
Square foot, yeah.
Yeah, for square foot, whatever. Yeah, same thing except smaller.
3 times smaller.
Yeah, exactly. 3 times
huge,
smaller.
50,000 square foot.
Yeah.
What the? And he had the $3.5 million Ferrari.
Yeah, and he bought a Bugatti as well, like a $4.4 million Bugatti. Yeah. All this excessive nonsense that you would expect from like a corrupt.
What was the yacht thing?
Oh yeah, $37 million yacht or something. Like, and he pays $2.2 million in like maintenance. Yeah, it's just stupid stuff. You can read it. We've got the Department of Justice link
it's in the
below. It's the best out of all the articles.
Yeah, I like the blow by blow.
Yeah, go to the source. But basically what we're saying is you got a grifter, you've got a scum con man, and he gets out, he runs away from one problem and he starts the same thing in another country. And this is why in the beginning, I honestly, when I first heard about the guy, I was very interested in him because I could understand that he was a scumbag, and that he was running away from real charges.
It was pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. He's running away from being, corrupt and bribery and stuff. But sometimes, as I learned, a policeman in South Africa once told me, sometimes you need light devils to catch dark devils. In other words, you need to be a devil to catch a devil.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like an evil.
Yeah, an angel can't catch a devil because they don't think the same way.
That makes sense.
So his whole thing is like police officers have to be scumbags in order to catch worse scumbags.
Right.
Did that make sense? That was the analogy that he told me.
Right.
And so this is what I was thinking about him. He is a corrupt piece of shit, but he knows all about the corruption of the CCP and all that. So it's good to have someone like that to go after that type of thing.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
But it was, turns out
he's just a corrupt piece of shit. Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty much the update on Guo Wengui. And
busted.
We'll see where that goes. But it's...
You know what I would do if I was trying to run away from the CCP is not go scam Americans for $1 billion. Probably not a good idea. So...
We also cannot forget that his partner in crime is this dude. William.
Yu Jianming.
Yeah, Yu Jianming, which I guess his Wade Giles name is King Ming Je.
Yeah.
William Je. How do you say Je? It's definitely Je.
I mean, I know the Chinese.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
his
me too.
romanization of this.
Yeah. Anyway, he's the other guy who's currently being indicted, along with Guo. So just so you guys know the deal with that.
Guess what? Don't commit crime. Simple.
Yeah,
Don't be a criminal.
Don't be fraudulent. I mean, like a lot of the ideas that he had, like let's set something up, like to go against the CCP or whatever. That's great, but do it properly.
Yes.
Actually, register a company.
It was. Am I wrong? Right. But like, as I was reading the DOJ report, the FBI recovered $650 million of the.
They
assets?
froze a bunch of bank accounts.
Okay, so at least some people will be getting their money back.
Yeah.
Okay,
at least, but that's
$1 billion of fraud.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
What a surprise.
Yeah. What do you know?
Well,
corrupt Beijing, corrupt Chinese official.
Have fun in jail.
Escapes to America and turns out to just be a corrupt businessman.
Have fun in jail.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see how it all goes. It'll be interesting to follow.
Well, he's been arrested, so.
Yeah, I know. But, maybe they'll let him off on a technicality and then he'll sue us.
For what? Reporting a DOJ report?
Yeah, they'll liquidate. So. They'll liquidate our microphones and stuff. And they'll be able to get like $700 out of all of our equipment and be like, yes.
They read a publicly available DOJ report.